Welcome back. If you watched the last video, I've just got to say thank you. As far as I'm concerned, it was a huge success. Lots of people engaged, lots of hours watched, lots of great comments. So I'm over the moon. So if you watched that, thank you. I'm really pleased. If you caught the live the other day, I'm sorry I stopped it halfway through, but this thing is so cute. It's so cool. I've got to show you this thing in a separate little video. It'll be a Wednesday night video. It'll be just on this little thing, which is absolutely blooming gorgeous. And it blew my mind. I showed it to Ian Horton. If you don't know who Ian Horton is, you need to stick around. Chalco Stamp and Die. Ian, and he was just like, oh, Jamie, this is a gem, a real gem. So we'll get back to that later. So subscribe and all the other stuff, because there's some really cool stuff coming. I seem to have left all my things for doing this at home, so I'm struggling a bit. The evening class thing session, a few people like as well, so they like the evening class. If you haven't seen it, watch my last video. It was pretty funny. I do get a bit of stick, but there you go. In this video, what we're going to talk about is, I'm going to get on with these benches, which there's one here, and did a load to that yesterday. I'm going to do some more to that right now once I finish this clip, get more of that done, because that's my priority. My priority is my videos, my evening class, and my commissions, in whichever order is the next thing I've got to get done. So it's a pain in the neck. I'm running around a bit, got too much to do probably, but there you go. After this, what are we doing? We're doing, this one again is broken up. This video again is broken up into 2 or 3 jobs, 2 or 3 things happening in the last week. So I've got to pull those out and make them look all right, and make it so that you keep watching, and that's all I can ask is enjoy, because I enjoy it. So it's a bit manic, but I enjoy it, and hey ho, you might enjoy it too. So if you like, comment, share, all the rest, subscribe. I mean, that's the thing. I've lost loads of subscribers. There's something going on YouTube. We've lost lots of people who are losing subscribers, they're losing hours. There's something strange going on. I don't know whether somebody's changed the algorithm, but yeah, we've got to try and keep on top of it, because some of us are trying to get somewhere with this. So on to the first thing. Let's go. I'm looking at the camera, looking at it, waiting for you to smile. Right. We've got a bit of an unboxing. I'm going to try and keep the cardboard tube. Now I know what's in here, and it's incomplete, which means we've got a little bit of work to do. Oh, it wants to escape. Right, are you ready for this? This is pretty cool. Oh wow. Done a good job. Right, that's that. And this is it. That's it. But there's a part missing. And the part that's missing, I've already had a word with Robert, who you've seen help on other videos. Robert did the 010.5 rebate plane. The problem with this is one of those is missing, and Robert's going to make one of those for me. So this is going to be pretty cool, because it's got a hole and a thread, because it's a speed clamp. So they go up and down, and as soon as you straighten them up, they catch the thread and it turns. Offset it slightly like that, and it's a speed nut. As soon as you lift it up, it's attached to the thread. Cool, isn't it? Sanding back of these. Sanding the back of these, taking up sharp edges. A couple of my machines and things have left a couple of marks. Sometimes little burn marks or little bits of paint from the blades, which is a little bit annoying. I go over them with a cabinet scraper or sandpaper like this. And then there can be a pencil line. I might miss the odd pencil line, and I just get an eraser on it just to remove any pencils. Don't want to sand it in. Oh, pencils can be a pain sometimes. So yeah, just be careful with those pencil lines, people. I'm just waiting now for somebody to come and go through a drawing with me. It's a little sketch. It's for the top part of some double doors for a set to go on stage in Birmingham. A fan light type window. We'll have a look. I've got to go through that. I've got a student in. I'll get him to help me mark this out. See if we can get this done and out of the way quickly so that it's a job done. Look at this. Hopefully during this video this will suddenly get horrible. We'll go by the angle. So this couple of hours job took a little bit longer than a couple of hours. We've got some support on the back of the frame. I've had to actually put another ring around here to beef it up a bit more. It's not even 3mm hardboard, so you can imagine how flexible it is. Anyhow, it's done, and tomorrow I can get on with what I really need to be getting on with, which is those seats over there. So yeah, back onto that tomorrow. But good to get this out the way. It's needed in Birmingham. And the student I had today, the young lad, he was interested and keen to see how I marked things out and sorted things out. So yeah, if you followed along with that, that's great. Looks all right, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks all right. This old bench came in as firewood, which will be useful. Can't save much of it. And then we moved on to the afternoon woodworking session. And this was really good to see. This is Kia's high vice. Interesting. Yeah, it works, doesn't it? And I like that. And you can be up here. It's too tall for me, but you're taller.
Go down. Oh no, you can't.
Yeah.
It's very good. I like that.
Keep going, it's looking good. And I've got to show you what's going on outside. Look at that for the sky. It's beautiful. Gotta look at that sunset. Wow. Beautiful. Mark's making good progress with his box, cutting the lid off, and this is the method I prefer. Between two lines. Oh, you're just creeping over, aren't you? Yeah, keep your eye on it. Pull it back, and by pulling it back, pull the back of the saw back straight. Don't twist the saw to pull back. That's why I like two lines. You can see it wandering off one, and the evidence that it's, yeah, looks all right. Not far away. You're just catching it, you see, so that's good. Nice. So Mark's cutting this lid off, and I'm just going to show him how to correct. And when you've got the saw in there like that, don't twist the saw this way or that way. Actually twist the handle slightly so that it pulls the bottom over. So that's what I'm going to do. And just cut down here. And now if we look at that, we can see it's starting to pull over. And another box being marked up. Look at this. I've got a hole there.
Eh?
Yeah.
No, I'll just put it in. That's what I use that for. I'm joking.
I didn't.
We put that in there
Did
the
we?
other day.
Did we?
My first box.
Did we put it in there for you to do that? Solve it. I've got holes around my bench. There's one there, falling over. One there. One there to hold these lamps. These lamps go everywhere. There's one there. So Matt's using a Badak Stiletto Fabulous saw, and he's got some new toys. Yeah, that's really nice. So the reason I'm filming some of this is so that I can show Matt later how straight his arm is. Just needs to go that way a bit more with his arm, with his elbow. That's it.
See the line. Quite struggle with this.
It is, but for me, you're cutting all the way down here, but the blade's staying in the same place here. So there's a chance that this exit here could widen up and get bigger. So I think you're better off just tilting it up and going through diagonally.
Or maybe taking
because that will open up a bit.
Oh, it's really struggling to see the line there.
Yeah, go over with the knife. Mark's been going over his with a knife. It is hard to see. You got a nice knife?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a nice knife.
They fit until I bought one of the chisel.
Sorry?
And Mark's lid's cut off. Oh right, yeah, you bought another.
Don't.
Matt is the most experienced at cutting lids off boxes in the last 6 months.
Oh, but that's not good.
It can happen.
Never the twain shall meet.
Cut across the two now, try and join them together like I showed Mark. Lift it higher in the vise. I don't normally say that. Get it really high up so that there's no...
Yeah, I've got the bevel on
Doesn't
there.
matter. Okay. Doesn't matter. There you go. So if anything, that might be actually opening it up a bit. And now do your teeth in the back and your teeth in the front. Ooh. Lining up. Lift it higher in the vise because you don't want to cut it. You don't want to cause a...
Sorry.
That's good. That's all right. You're playing that off.
Yeah. How do you mean?
Higher in the vise a bit more.
Not very much.
There is. You can just catch the mahogany. Just catch the
I see
mahogany.
what you mean.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Put that on that step. There you go.
Yeah.
Now do the same the other side. That's it. Now you just the mahogany, and then if this wants to open up because you've got pressure on there, it can. Better?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of, you can just see there's a little bit there, but it's not bad. Well, run around with the plane and it'll be done. Just taking a moment because this is, where's the focus gone? Oh, look at that. But look at the grain. And it's just Fab. And you've cut the lid off your box tonight.
I have made some shavings.
Good morning. What's happening this morning? Oh, that fan light's been collected and the extra timber that I didn't need. And I'm getting on with the benches. So it should be a good day. Yeah, should be a good one. Marking seats out. I've got my student with me. And you can see me marking this angle here. This is 39 degrees off the end of the seat. It's all quite critical. Got to get the resultant angle. It's basically a combination of the splay and the rake. You need to have a look at it. It's interesting. And it's for Peter Galbert's drilling jig that you can just see at the top there in the picture. You have to mark 19mm away from that resultant angle for the jig to sit in the correct place. Well, I have to drill 19mm. And it makes, so I have to be away from that so that I actually drill at the correct angle with the point of the drill in the correct place. So there's a bit of fiddling around and I have to make sure it's exactly right because I don't want any issues with this. Now what I'm doing is I'm holding the piece of wood underneath. My student is clamping it underneath. This is so that when the drill goes through, it goes into an offcut, into some waste, that it doesn't break out on the back. I like my clamps pointing down. Notice, I like the clamps pointing down. So I'm just double checking that square across there at that point. And I'm just telling him, here we go, this is the point I want to get. And he's agreeing with me. I'll come to that later. You need to watch towards the end. And I've got something to say about students and people agreeing with you when they're agreeing what you're saying, but not necessarily agreeing that you're doing the right thing. So here I am pointing out that that block on the right hand side on the end of that jig is 19mm because it's half the thickness of the drill bit and it's half the thickness of the part that it's going to go into at the top. You'll see that in a second. So I've got to set this up and then we've got to cramp it into place. I'm just checking that, 89.9. And it's, there you go, it's not 90, it's 89.9, so that's not far away. And we drill down. Obviously I've speeded this up a bit. You don't want to watch slow, very slow, unless you do. Let me know in the comments. So drilling in, and be careful when you're drilling to pull the drill back out. You don't want to catch that top edge of the hole and just damage that hole. Now I've set the drill up because it didn't go through into the bottom piece properly. It needed to go down another 5 or 6mm, so there's a bit more waste to vacuum away. Then this is the next one. So I've set the jig up to this side of the hole, the one behind was just done, and we're going to go through this much quicker. Having somebody there with a vacuum is very good. It takes all the waste away, easier to do. Now I've turned it around and we're on the third leg already. So what else can I say about this? I mean, having somebody there is really useful. And this is the fourth. It makes such a difference having someone there. This last hole I'm going to do in real time. So the next 2 minutes, because that's how long it can take. If you want to skip this bit, go ahead. That jumping, where I'm doing this and that, I think it's hitting the ply and it's hitting the end grain.
And then spinning.
And it's taking out the soft grain, but I think this jig needed to be made out of solid wood rather than plywood because it's fluctuating between those.
Yeah, going back and forth.
Oh well, let's carry on.
below that. Slightly. Bit more. Hasn't gone through all of it. Well, that was a good afternoon with a student. Sorting out the legs, or drilling the legs, marking them up. It's good for him to go through it. I have to take my time, I have to go slow. It's much easier when there's two people with a shared interest in how you're doing something. I have to be aware that the student is going to probably agree with what I say. So if I say, oh, I'm going to do this and do that, they'll just say yes, okay, which is fine, which is fair enough. The problem is there, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to accidentally do something wrong because he said yes. So I've got to be confident that I'm doing the right thing. And sometimes legs and jigs can make mistakes, but all good today. Everything went well. It's looking good, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. So I'm just walking out. Do you want to have a look? There she is. Come on then, Tato. Hello, my little friend. Sniffs. She's always sniffing. You're always sniffing. Tato, come here. She's always sniffing. Wait, come here. What's this? What's this? Oh, my little girl. My lovely little girl. Come on. Good morning. This is working really well. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to go and see Robert about... Let me show you. Hang on. If I show you that, you know what I mean. Gonna go and see Robert, see what we can do with these.
Lashes.
So what have you found? So yes, it's
an English thread.
Yeah.
It's
quarter width.
And that nestles straight in there.
And you've just tried that on the nut, and it goes.
Brilliant. Just run by hand, so we can't actually be cutting a thread. All we're doing is cleaning the storage dust out.
Yeah.
And that's
beautiful. So that's it. And as we've just said, this is most likely it's a standard bar off the shelf. Keep it cheap and cheerful. So we've just Robert's just been through this, and we've got a process, which is brilliant. We'll find a bit of hexagon. And we're not doing it now. I've just come down to show Robert this because a plan. Because we need a plan to then sort out when we can come and do this, because this is right. So what? So we're going to do? Okay.
So that is hiding in there. Okay. So it's easier to use hexagon.
And they might have used, obviously, well, not obviously, but they might have used a smaller section.
Well,
you've just got what
just pull the piece out of the drawer.
Okay.
We'll find a hexagon that's as close as we can to that. The idea of using hexagon is that we can chuck that easily. We can turn that diameter on there as a little short piece. Then we'll put the knurl on, because the knurl's the hardest operation, pushing to form the knurl. Then we'll face it off, we'll centre drill, we'll pilot drill, we'll drill and tap quarter width. We'll knock a little chamfer on the edge, and then because we've got hexagon, we'll be able to hold that hexagon in the milling machine vise, because you've got a nice flat. We'll work out what the angle of that hole is. Then we can lean this over in the vise to the same corresponding angle, and then just plunge in with an end mill.
And do you think that an end mill is the best way to get that angled hole?
Yeah, because what will happen is, obviously, if you're going with anything other than end mill, which cuts on the side and the face, if you're going with a drill, for example...
Oh, because end mill is going end down, only cutting down.
It will only cut in the down, well, it will cut in both directions, but you're using a cutter that's specifically designed to cut in the down direction.
Brilliant.
So obviously it'll start off cutting brass, it'll fall into the existing thread we've just put through, and then of course obviously it comes out on the opposite side at the bottom.
Which means somewhere in the
middle there.
In the middle.
Is a
There
sort
should
of
be-
no man's land
Yeah,
sort of
there's
thing,
no
which is
man's
where it
land.
skids across
That's where it
the
crosses.
thread. Brilliant, isn't it?
So that's the stratagem.
Oh, look. Nice
Oh
thread.
yeah, I was had a bit of a beating.
Well, I hope you like that. Thanks for watching. The seats are going well. There's the seats up here. It's about to... I've got to turn some legs now, so that'll be in the next video. And there's parts of this video that'll be completed in the next video. So you've got to like, subscribe, share, all of this. There are some beautiful bits in this video, but there are some beautiful bits that follow on in the next video. And this is how I have got to do it. This is how... It's the only way I can reduce the number of video clips on my phone as well. So it's working well. And I'm really pleased with it. The script idea, which I've got here, is going really well. Look, there's next week's. So it's, I'm happier because it's working. If you can buy me a coffee, the super thanks is there. Any way you can support me, I really appreciate it. And some of you might have noticed some steam on the morning. Put in the comments what you think it might be, and maybe we'll see that in another episode very soon. So yeah, thanks for watching. You're blowing me away. It's brilliant. I really appreciate every one of you. So thank you.